Book One One's all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. One of her advocacy, the smart rewiring, scientists helping executives beat burnout and accelerate careers, rather than Miss Lizette Warner.
All right. Hey, thanks for having me.
Welcome, Miss Lizette. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Absolutely. So, I'm Dr. Lizette Warner. I am a scientist and executive coach, and I help senior leaders accelerate their promotions, accelerate their careers, make better decisions under pressure, and beat burnout with neuroscience backed tools. My journey began as a corporate chief science officer when I hit my own wall of stress, sleepless nights, health struggles, and a career that no longer felt fulfilling. So, after watching my entire global organization get dismantled overnight, I realized that achievement without sustainability is a system failure. And that led me into coaching and into creating the smart rewiring method that helps folks track and guarantee leadership growth and career acceleration. So, that's a little bit about me.
Dr. Lizette Warner. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. And today, let's talk about the science of promotion, how to accelerate your career without burning out. So tell us, let's start with the core tension. How do you reconcile the accelerate part of your topic with without burning out?
Yeah. So accelerating your career doesn't have to be a burnout issue. A lot of times people overperform. And while they're overperforming, it's having an impact on their health, on their body, on their personal life. So I actually call burnout happens when you have been brilliant for too long. And so often people go being brilliant and overperforming when their nervous system is telling them that's enough. Stop. But we ignore it, right? We don't listen to that. And then we just keep going until at a certain point your body will tell you. It will tell you to stop, whether that's with disease or this burnout of like I can't do this anymore. that that will come up for someone at some stage in their career if they continue to be brilliant for too long without restoration.
Dr. Lizette, how does the science tell us about how promotion decisions are actually made versus how most people think they're made?
Yeah, so uh, your nervous system is really what drives promotions. And that's kind of a counterintuitive thought. Most people think, okay, I've got to get the skills, I have to get the certification. And yes, certainly skills are important, but oftentimes, people will come and they feel like I need more executive presence, right? In order to get promoted. But really what that executive presence is your nervous system being being regulated. When you walk into a room and you see someone who's presenting, maybe it's an executive, and they have just this beautiful presence about them, right? That people are drawn towards them. It's they're being drawn to their nervous system, right? And when our nervous system is regulated, when we're calm, we're able to access higher level functionings in our brain. So our prefrontal cortex is your executive functioning center. And when we're burning out, this is the part of the brain that gets overloaded and you no longer make really good decisions, right? So it all comes back to your nervous system. And so, what I teach people is how to rewire their behaviors so that they can get their nervous system on a level that then demonstrates that they're leading, that other people start to admire them because they're becoming that leader that other people look to.
Interesting, Dr. Lizette. Beyond just working hard, what are the key psychological shifts someone needs to make to be seen as a promotion ready?
Yeah. So promotions go, like I said, to people whose nervous systems are demonstrating that they're already leading at that next level. Oftentimes people think that we need to get that certification or do whatever hoops that we need to go through. We need to dot our I's, cross our T's. We need to demonstrate that we're doing the work. But the way that you show up, if you're showing up in a way that is communicating to everyone else that I've already earned that role. I'm already operating with that strategic insight that makes that next role feasible and shows that I am that leader. Then other people see that and the road begins to clear for you to step into that level of leadership. So it's almost like you're paving the way by already behaving in a manner that you've already secured that promotion.
Secure that promotion, people, and for sure you can take it if you are truly, truly qualified. And now, Dr. Lizette, how do you define burnout in a professional context? And what are the earliest, most subtle warning signs that people often ignore?
Yeah. So I suspect people already they are already feeling signs of burnout, right? You're either unable to sleep at night. You're unable to quiet your mind because your mind is already continuing to answer emails, or you're continuing to work over hours that are, let's say, close to your bedtime. And oftentimes I deal with a lot of executives who have a hard time getting their mind to quiet. They struggle with not having those tangible things to do. Like their mind is already working on tomorrow's tasks. They're already working. If something pops up, they immediately go to it and start working on that, as opposed to someone who is in preparation for promotions. They're beginning to think more strategically, right? They're more responsive as of as opposed to reactive. When someone's reactive, we're responding to email, we're feeling like we have to do the next thing or go above and beyond, instead of really activating your prefrontal cortex and starting to think strategically. What is it really that's going to get me to that next step? So what I often find with people who are in burnout, they uh, they struggle to sleep. They're constantly working. They may be feeling exhaustion. So when you're in your workday, when you've got really good recovery protocols during your day, which many executives do who've reached that level and who've trained their nervous system, they're able to recharge during the day. So if you feel at any point in your day where your energy is just dipped and it's low, and this is a chronic condition, then you may be nearing burnout, or you may already be in burnout. So it's listening to yourself and finding, what is your energy. And so oftentimes I will ask people, at the end of your day, are you exhausted or are you energized? Because if you have the right recovery protocols, you are probably ending your day with as much energy as you started the day. And oftentimes people in burnout aren't that way. They're ending the day really exhausted, but then at the same time, they're unable to rest when they need to rest.
Dr. Lizette, let's talk about strategy and visibility. What is the most impactful yet often overlooked activity for building visibility with the key decision makers?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, first off, in order to build visibility with the key stakeholders, you have to know who are the key stakeholders. Oftentimes, we think those key stakeholders are our boss. It's the next person above us. And that may or may not be, right? It may be the one above that. It may be someone lateral to that. And regardless how much you work, we can see gatekeepers of people's careers. For example, you're working, you're producing results, but are the right people seeing your results? And again, this involves strategic thinking. So you have to think, who are the stakeholders who need to see, who need to observe the magnificent work that I'm doing? And how can I get in front of them? Because oftentimes I see people saying that, oh, well, I'm showing this to my boss, but they're taking it, further to their boss or their whoever, and then they're getting promoted, but I'm not getting promoted, right? And I'm the one who's doing the work. Now, the beautiful thing in that is that, and the downside in that is oftentimes we get, when we're in this burnout, we can't really think strategically, and so we're waiting for that boss to put our name forward. But in reality, you have other channels. If you think about LinkedIn, so LinkedIn, there are billions of people in the world on LinkedIn. Many of them are lurkers, right? There are people, and when I say lurkers, I mean they don't post, but they maybe look and see what people are posting, right? They're reading comments, they're reading posts. Most CEOs, most high level leaders are on LinkedIn. I can say with confidence that most of the people that we work with, their bosses' bosses are on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is now the great equalizer, right? It's this hallway where you can bump into anyone. And if you're in the situation that your boss isn't putting your work forward and you're standing back going, well, I'm just kind of waiting for them to alert people, or I'm posting on the channels at work for other people to see my work, you can go beyond that, right? You can now use LinkedIn as a strategy to post thought leadership pieces that show, that echo the work that you're doing and the brilliance that you're putting out there. Now, if you're burned out, are you using your energy in the right places? Because most of the time people will tell me, well, but I don't have time. I don't have time to be posting on LinkedIn because I'm doing XYZ at work. But it doesn't take an entire marketing branch of the office to put a post on LinkedIn, and you don't have to post daily. But if there is something that shines in your work, it is your responsibility to shine that out into the world. And you can tag your boss's boss, right, in making some of those posts. Now, not anything that's company confidential, but there are so many things that go unsaid that we don't advocate for ourselves in the channels that we have available. And there are so many channels and avenues that are available to all of us.
How can someone strategically choose projects that have a high career return on investment without seeming opportunistic or political?
Yeah. So again, this involves your strategic thinking, right? So, what is your goal? And it may seem, um, it may seem for you, okay, well, I want a promotion, but why? Where is it that you want to go? If you look 5 years from now and you say, okay, I want a promotion, into this next level role, what's your end game? Where is it that you're wanting to go? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? And with that vision in mind, so you have to first look a little bit beyond just the immediate, what are the projects in front of me, to think, where is it that I really, really want to go? What's my mission statement? Many people don't know what that is, right? And I ask people, oftentimes I'll ask people, what's your sentence, right? What is your one and only sentence? You know, Abraham Lincoln, his sentence was he ended the Civil War and ended slavery. Winston Churchill's sentence was he led England through the darkest times of World War II. What is your sentence, your impact that you're going to make? Look at that first. When you have that, then you can scroll back and go, okay, now I can make decisions today on which of these projects actually get me towards my end goal. So by having, you have to think forward, you have to think ahead of where it is that you're wanting to go. You know, when in athletes, when they train for a goal. Many of us, when we're in the workplace, we we treat it as a, you know, I show up, I go home, I show up, I do these things, hopefully I get promoted. But many times we don't approach it with a strategic view of where is it that I'm trying to go? And then everything comes into place because now you're looking at it through the lens of where is it that I want to go? And is this project going to get me there? And if it's not, then you can make the decision to say, that's a great project. I don't think I'm the right person to take that forward, right? Or if it is the right project, then you might say, and if it's a stretch, look, I'd love to have the opportunity to take this forward and show you what I can do and what this would bring back to the company, right? To show and demonstrate your leadership because it's towards your end goal.
Miss Lizette, as a coach, what are your short term and long term goals?
Well, that's a great question. So, as a coach, my I have been working to sharpen my own coaching skills, not for my own gain, but when I initially got certified with the International Coaching Federation as a professional coach, I set out to become the best coach that I could be, and so I hired a mentor coach and started working with them. It wasn't for the goal of getting a credential, it was for the goal of, I want to ask the right questions of my clients. I want to show up as the best version of myself because then and only then can I get the best outcome for my clients. So I set on the road to improve my coaching skills. Now, along the way, I ended up with the skills to be able to become a master certified coach. So it wasn't one of my goals, but I recently, here within the past few weeks, got my master coaching credential. So, like I said, it wasn't necessarily a goal of mine. It wasn't what I set out to do. I set out to become the best version of a coach that I could be. And in the end, I ended up getting this certification. So my goal was become the best coach I can be and continue to do that. So as a coach, my long and short term goals is still that, right? To continue to be the best coach that I can be, to continue to pass on coaching skills to other coaches. So I serve as a mentor coach with Trust and Leadership. We have a coaching staff, and I serve as a mentor coach to our coaches on staff to help them develop their coaching skills. So for me, long term goals are to make an impact to other people. So one of my long term, just personal goals is to help other people be brilliant. And so as a coach, I help coaches be their best version, be brilliant. And as a coach to clients, I help my clients be a brilliant version of themselves so that they set themselves up for promotion.
Miss Lizette, good luck to your goals and looking
Mm.
forward for more success. And what will be a piece of advice for those people out there who want to be like you?
Oh my goodness. Well, I would say don't be like Lizette. Be you, right?
Be you.
Be the best version of you. And sometimes that looks like mimicking what we see, because oftentimes we learn by doing. And so if it helps you to be like someone else, that's fine. You can start off that way, but really be you. The world needs you. The world doesn't need another Lizette.
Yes, for sure. So thank you for that advice, Miss Lizette. And can you please recommend a books that influence your journey?
Yes, I love recommending books. So I am an avid reader in terms of professional development. So I've written a book. It's called Power, Poise, and Presence, and it helps someone use their nervous system to show up powerful, maybe in a situation where they don't feel powerful. It helps them show up poised in the middle of uncertainty, and it helps them show up with presence, even if they feel um, like they don't have any presence. So that's one resource. There's a lot of tools in there, and the other one that I like, and it's a practical book, is Heal Your Nervous System. And so this is for a lot of people who have burned out or feel that they're in burnout. I feel like this has been a instrumental book for me in helping a lot of our clients. So that's by Dr. Linnea Posseler, Heal Your Nervous System, and then Power, Poise, and Presence by myself, Dr. Lizette Warner.
Well, thank you for that recommended book, Miss or Dr. Lizette. And let's talk about the role of mentorship and sponsorship. What's the critical difference between the two, and which is one more powerful for securing a promotion?
Yeah, they are both um, instrumental. So mentorship and sponsorship are two completely different things. So mentorship is where someone who is in who has already walked your path, right? So it's someone who you've decided, I want to be a CFO, right? And maybe you're in the financial area and you want to be a CFO. A mentor has already walked your path. They have taken, a promotion above you. Maybe they're two or three steps ahead of you, right? And they then share their knowledge of their path that can help you along your path. So they're immediately sharing their knowledge to you that can help you rise in your own profession. A sponsor Now, a sponsor is different. So a sponsor helps, but helps you in a way that they speak your name in front of audiences that maybe you're not in front of. So that earlier example that I gave of you posting on LinkedIn and maybe you tag your boss's boss, right? Um, that's you putting yourself in front of someone maybe you don't even see them on a day-to-day basis. You don't work with them. A sponsor does that for you. A sponsor will come into your life. They may meet with you once a month, right? Um, but they're someone who knows you, knows what you're capable of, and is willing to support you and back you behind closed doors and give you opportunities because they speak your name in front of audiences that you may not be in front of, right? In order to get you more visibility for some of the leadership roles that you're looking for.
Dr. Lizette, empowering answer indeed. And before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too, comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well, geography 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast law 101 and mental health 101. Love Letters in third season, a movie 101 review and music 101 in fourth season, and science 101 and sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Dr. Lizette, finally, if you had to give one piece of well-known advice for accelerating your career without burning out, what would it be?
Hmm. So the first piece of advice I would give folks is to really know yourself, right? Benchmark, where are you currently? What are your strengths? Where might you need to develop? Really is taking an inventory of where you are so that you can map out fully where it is that you want to go and how you can get there. In Trust and Leadership, we do this with a leadership performance blueprint for folks, right? There are a number of assessments that we pull together that allow us to carve out a growth plan for someone. So we take all the guessing out of the equation, and that's how we're able to guarantee people's promotions. Is we take all the guesswork out of the equation, and we give you a rock solid plan, and you just execute that plan. You can do that on your own, you can do it with another coach, you can do it with a TLC coach, but having a tool, a diagnostic that gives you a ton of information about yourself so that you have that plan how to move forward, that would be the first thing that I would tell people to do. Whether you're looking for a promotion or not, this is something I feel like everyone should have. It's almost like a manual of me. And many times it takes us years, right? We're not until our 50s or 60s till we really understand and can communicate. How do I um, how do I handle conflict? How do I learn? How do I like being spoken to? How do I It's all of these manual of me type questions that when you have it in front of you at your disposal, it just makes everything so much clearer and easy. So that would be the first thing.
Indeed, and thank you so much, Dr. Lizette, for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your advocacy, your projects, your coaching, or whatever that you want to promote on Book 101 Review? Dr. Lizette?
Yeah, very good. If someone wants to connect with us, please click on the start here and you'll learn about the Leadership Performance Blueprint. But thank you for having me.
You are most welcome, Dr. Lizette. Yes, people, let's support Dr. Lizette Warner because if you support her, for sure, more and more empowering coaching to come. So, Dr. Lizette, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Modicon people, see you soon.